the mysterious old man gently touched Mike's cheek. And from that day forward, Mike started losing 3 pounds every single day. To avoid starving to death, he had no choice but to eat constantly, no matter where he was. As a heavyweight lawyer weighing in at a whopping 300 pounds, Mike was the complete opposite of his slender wife, who prepared low-calorie meals for him daily to keep his weight in check. One day, Mike took on a high-profile case, representing a notorious mafia boss. With his exceptional legal skills, he managed to turn the tables, clear his client's name, and forge a close friendship with the mob leader. That evening, after a dinner with colleagues, Mike and his wife were driving home when they accidentally hit and killed an elderly gypsy woman, who happened to be the daughter of a tribal chief. However, in court, the judge and police officers were all Mike's buddies, and they worked together to clear him of any suspicion. Thrilled, Mike walked out of the courthouse, ready to indulge in a hearty KFC feast, when an old man stopped him. With a grin, the man reached out, touched Mike's face, and whispered, "Lose weight." Then he got in his car and drove off. Mike didn't think much of it, assuming he had just encountered a crazy person. However, in the days that followed, strange things started happening. Mike's weight began plummeting at an alarming rate, shedding 3 pounds every day. At first, he was overjoyed, thinking he might become the fastest weight loser in all of New York, but his excitement quickly turned to unease. While playing golf with the judge, Mike learned that a few days earlier, the judge had also been touched on the cheek by an old man, and since then, his skin had started to decay. Hearing this, Mike instinctively touched his own face, overcome by a strong sense of foreboding. In just 10 short days, Mike had lost a staggering 100 pounds, leaving even his wife in shock. Concerned about his health, she suggested he go to the hospital for a checkup, but the medical report showed no abnormalities. In fact, Mike was healthier than the doctor himself. Relieved by the results, he happily returned home and continued his KFC binge. But no matter how much he ate, his weight kept dropping. Meanwhile, the judge's condition grew increasingly bizarre. Mike learned from the judge's wife that when the gypsy man had touched the judge, he had whispered a single word: lizard. Since then, scales had started growing on the judge's skin. The judge's wife was distraught, blaming everything on Mike, convinced that he had brought this terrible curse upon them by killing the gypsy woman. Growing more frightened by the minute, Mike hired a detective to track down the gypsies. Finally, beneath a Ferris wheel, he once again encountered the mysterious old man. However, the surrounding gypsies were hostile, their gazes as sharp as knife blades. Mike begged the old man to lift the curse, but the man simply turned and walked away without a backward glance, leaving Mike to face his irreversible fate alone, desperate and hopeless.